G'day and welcome to the Larry Lakers dribbling chit chat. We've got plenty to talk about today, including Austin Reaves' watch. Where is Wenyen and World Cup Wobblers? All that and more on the Larry Lakers dribbling chit chat. As we said, welcome to the Larry Lakers dribbling chit chat. Viewers have asked us via our Gmail, the larrylakers@gmail.com. Austin Reaves versus Greece. What's the news? We've got Austin Watch coming right up. Listeners also ask, where in the world is Wenyen? A lot of Lakers fans miss Wenyen Graybrill. Let's find out where he is. We've combed the globe and we've found him hidden in plain sight. There's Lakers everywhere. People say, where are all the Lakers? Look, we found stacks of them. Plenty of them are playing. If you're missing the NBA, there's plenty of Lakers to watch worldwide. And what about some World Cup Wobblers? Not everything's going right for all the teams. I guess it can't. All these 32 games can't fit into one championship. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Also, go and see the podcast. If you like seeing the YouTube, there's a bit more on the pod. You can get the podcast at Apple, Amazon, Audible, all good podcasters. Go at Spotify. Go and have a listen. Tim Hugs at Destination Anywhere asks a very good question. How did Austin go against Greece? They've played this morning. People got up. It's only less than 24 hours ago. People have said, oh, it's fresh. Have a look at it. I did. Did Giannis, the Greek freak, end up playing? No, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not available to play for Greece. I believe one of his brothers is playing, but no Giannis. So the team's still a very dangerous team, and they look good in moments, but early on they were blown out by the US and then came back and hung around. Looked like they'd get it back to 10, but what's some other news for Tim Hugs at Destination Anywhere? Austin Watch, one of the Lakers everyone likes to keep track of. Austin Reaves got on for just 15 minutes. Coach Kerr seemed to be spinning a few different angles on the team. He still looked productive. Reaves got 11 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 2 of 3 from the arc. Great signs for the Lakers there if we can keep that percentage up. Just the 1 rebound. He had a beautiful Euro after some of his teammates said he's very good at getting to the line. Not sure if that's not a backhanded compliment, but no assist for a fellow who's playing at guard. But he could have had one very special one where he came off a little screen and roll, looked the other way, did a little spin himself, shoveled a beautiful no-look pass. Walker Kessler missed a big slam dunk. Would have been a spectacular play, and surely it would have been worth 5 or 6 assists, but really 1 assist would have gone into the column, but it would have been a very good one. Now here's another question. D. Styles at the nation's capital. Did the USA do anything different that you saw in this game? Well, I was lucky to get a look at it, and I think there were some different signs. The USA put a more traditional big man on in terms of fever. They've been playing a bit smaller with Paulo Banchero as their backup centre, Daniel. But this time I thought this gives them a centre. We were a bit concerned about their bigs against Spain in that warm-up game. Even though they won it, the Spain big men seemed to look handy against them, and they were only putting on 2 bigs at a time. But 16 minutes to Walker Kessler showed some promise for the young rookie out of Utah, the Utah Jazz, and it gives them somebody in that more traditional big man role instead of the small ball centre that Coach Kerr probably plays a lot more with the Golden State Warriors. Gives you something to mix up, and who do you think's up to support him? Our man. I didn't place him in the crowd there. That's a real shot. Has not been photoshopped. There he is. Austin Reaves. He is everywhere. Lakers everywhere. I have to go through the crowd and see if any of these people are Lakers, but I don't think they are. It's just Austin. The Larry Lakers, who else was good? Well, Tim Hugs, there was some good players. Daniel Styles, I think it was D. Styles from the nation's capital. Anthony Edwards, 17 minutes. This is the man-child of the team over here. He's looking like a sort of a small LeBron. He's just bumping away. He's athletic, strong for his size, physical, just getting to the basket anytime he really needs to. If they need to put on a 5, 10-point spurt. Anthony Edwards seems to be the one who can do it. 17 minutes for 21 points on 8 of 16. Not afraid to put the ball up, obviously. And 1 block for his height. Very athletic, very strong. Brunson continues to lead this team around the park or around the timber. 4 of 6 shooting. But look at this. 7 assists. Very solid. No wonder New York was happy to get him there from the Dallas Mavericks. And speaking of another New York person, another former Laker everywhere, Josh Hart. He got a few more minutes. He hadn't been getting minutes from Coach Kerr, and people were wondering, what's going on? Is he not fit into the mix at all? I think Coach Kerr being very clever and looking at trying to work out how he'd play different sort of balances against different sorts of opponents. Very clever, getting hard on today. 0 for 0 on the field goals, but 9 rebounds. That's pretty good at his height. He'd only be sort of a medium height in the wing in that team. 4 assists, very classy. 2 steals, great defender, and 1 block. So very handy sort of supplementary game from Josh Hart. It's starting to look like Coach Kerr's looking at different combinations. Bobby Portis willing to bang away and be the sort of intense man down on the boards, almost play power forward, back up stretch 4 if you really had to, centre. But 10.7 boards. Bobby and Cameron Jones, sneaky athletic, 5 of 10. We know the man can shoot. But 4 assists is a little cleverer than you think. 3 steals, a little longer than you think on defence. But dunk of the game. Go back and watch it if you haven't had the chance. Stream it on the YouTube or something and have a look at a beautiful dunk. I won't give you any spoilers, but it is something special from Cam Johnson. Lakers everywhere. Question from Ted O of Sacramento. Ted O of Sacramento. Again, it's good to take this show global, right around the world. Are there any other danger teams in our FIBA group? Well, for the USA, I would have to say Germany. There they are. At Lakers one-time teammates. This year, this man, Dennis Schroeder, will be playing with the Toronto Raptors. A little bit of a pay rise there, a good pay rise, well earned by playing with the Lakers. We wish him well. We're sorry we couldn't keep him, but hope he goes well there with the Toronto Raptors. Hope he doesn't go so well against our man, Austin Reaves, in a couple of days. Where is Wenyen and World Cup Wobbles? That's what's coming up next on the Larry Lakers Dribbling Chit Chat Show. Question comes from Bouncing Benji. Where is the Lakers fan favourite, Wenyen Gabriel? Well, he sure was a fan favourite. The energy and excitement, this man, Wenyen Gabriel, often played undersized. He's looking strong there like Benji himself, but he gives away a fair bit of size. He's 6'9", a lot of weight, a lot of kilos he gives away to marking other centres. And the Lakers played him, and he averaged about 5 points, I believe, through the season on minimal minutes, but the enthusiasm he brought to the game, Laker fans loved him. Well, we found him. We've searched the world. We found Wenyen hiding in plain sight. We found him. We found Wenyen. We found him here playing for South Sudan. I believe the team qualified for the World Cup. Without Wenyen, he would have had NBA duties there with the Lakers, but he's joined the team since they miraculously qualified. Gives the team a bit more strength, of course, getting Wenyen on there. And so he will play in the FIBA World Cup. They're in the warm-ups. They've been down here. Wenyen's joined the team. They've been down here in Australia playing 3 games in the last 5 days with more Lakers everywhere. Luol Deng, assistant coach. Some Lakers, he didn't have a great career with the Lakers, had a great career at some other clubs, Miami, Chicago, but Luol Deng, they waived and stretched his contract late in his career, and the Lakers had to pay that money each of the 3 years and keep that up against their salary cap for a player they couldn't get to play, unfortunately. But Luol Deng, to show what a committed person he is to South Sudanese basketball, actually put some of his own money and a lot of his own time into this team. So there's a credit for Luol Deng, former Laker, under this Lakers everywhere, including Wenyen Gabriel. Where is Wenyen? Benji, great question. He top scored against Brazil, I think 17 points. They lost that game. That was on the first night of the 3 games in 5 days. And that wasn't a bad run when you consider Brazil upset one of the other teams going into this that were the 3rd-ranked team in the competition worldwide. Pretty good effort from the South Sudanese there. They actually led at half-time. Wenyen bounced away. He was their best player in game 1. But in the second game, they came up with a win against Venezuela. And again, he looked like one of the better players on the boards, banging away there in a loss against Australia. The South Sudanese looked a bit tired by the time they got their 3rd game in 5 days. One thing we would say, though, as good as we played down here, we wish we had heard it, but we haven't heard any news about any NBA contracts for Wenyen. Question from Caesar Salad. Any concerns about Australia's FIBA? I think that's FIBA, not IBA, boxing or anything. It's FIBA, World Cup warm-up. Well, good question, Caesar Salad, because they actually are ranked 13th in the world, but somehow lost to Brazil. Brazil are 13th in the world, and Australia lost. They are ranked 3rd. So that was a bit of an upset there. And my concerns, I watched that game, and from the game after that, there's a few concerns, Caesar Salad, or let's put them up. One is this one. Look away if you don't want to see a bad injury. But here it is, Jock Landale. He'd been injured, and we were waiting to get him onto the game. In the 3rd game, the final game of that week, we're playing there against South Sudan, and he was going all right. Rolled the ankle. Have a look at that. That is a classic ankle roll. Limped off. Australia, we're down a big, and when we won leading into Tokyo, we were able to play this man, Jock Landale, as the forward and play Aaron Baines as the big, and we did that a couple of times in the actual Olympics where we won the bronze. So I'm a little bit worried about the bigs rotation there, Caesar Salad. I've written a number of points there. It was good to take notes. It was old school, got down the pen. Point of attack defence. When they played Brazil, little guard was able to zip around them. It's great to have a big guard running the plays like Josh Giddey, but what happens when a little guard zips around them? We don't have the point of attack defence that would be handy to have. We struggled with the on-ball screen, something as simple as the on-ball screen. The bigs rolled, the little man got around dished, or the bigs stepped back out, and they kicked it out. And the bigs who could shoot really caused Australia some trouble. So we're definitely down a big. We look stronger on the wings. There's a little bit of good news. We've got the Josh Green, we've got the Daniels, we've got the Thibault. Thibault, of course, was a star at the Olympics where we got our first ever bronze. He and Paddy Mills catching fire in that game for the bronze were really key to us getting that, breaking through that barrier where we'd often been 4th, getting through to 3rd. Missed 14. We seem to go as our 3-pointer goes, Caesar Salad. We missed 14 of our first 16 shots against Brazil. We were 0 from 8 from 3-point land in the first quarter. Paddy Mills missed 0 of his first 8 attempts from 3-pointer. We beat South Sudan, and we can't be too comfortable with that. Giddey got 9 assists, but how about this for shooting? 1 of 6. I've got a few concerns, Caesar Salad. Maybe it'll click, but there's a few things to look at. Boomers versus the world. Jono counters Caesar Salad's question. Jono at Scotown. Any positives for the Boomers so far? Well, we just looked at a few concerns. Let's look at a few of the positive. Thibault and Reaves saved Australia versus South Sudan. Despite that terrible shooting, Matisse, I wouldn't like to think Australia can rely on Matisse, as great as that night was, to be their leading 3-point shooter every game. He really hits them in the NBA, but he's probably been working on it. I'm sure it's getting better all the time. Nothing would surprise me with Matisse, but 5 out of 6 from three-point land. Reaves, backup centre, came on, played a small role when Australia won at Tokyo for a bronze medal in the Olympics. And this time, though, has to play a much bigger role, especially once big Jock Landale went down. 15 points, 6 rebounds. We need a big man. They were talking about maybe he not making the cut from 13 down to 12. Well, tear that paper up, coach. Reaves, we need him. He's can even hit a little bit of a three. So Reaves, keep an eye out for him on the Good News Jono at Scotown. There's still some hope that it might click together, Jono. They, unlike the other teams, some of them only got one warm-up game left. Australia, I believe, has 2. Josh Green, it was also his first game. He gives you more of that wing defence, and he can hit a 3. In fact, most of these guys were lower in three-point percentage than their NBA stats. So there's good quality sample there to indicate that they might come good from 3. Australia, it's still concerning. Interesting article on Josh Green, if you can catch it, if you Google it and have a look. From Sports Illustrated, a Mavs writer said Josh Green could be Delhi on steroids. Go back to our last YouTube, and or the one before that, we had an article, no Delhi on your telly. It looks like Delhi got cut from the 15-man squad down to the 13, but Josh Green is one to watch. They're strong on defence and can hit a 3. We're going to need it. Look, here's a question. I was a bit surprised by this one. A bit of confusion for kids if they don't live on that part of the world. World Cup wobbles. Question from Mouse at a place called Skonai. I love seeing people send in the phonetic sort of spelling of words. But I think it's Scone. Hi. Did the Dominicans, I guess he's got up and he's Googled the scores, and it says Dominicans beat Canada. Now, not the Dominican nuns, Mouse, as you might know from your part of the world. No, put the big cross on that one. But the Dominicans did beat Canada. It was an upset. Lakers everywhere. This is the man we featured in Dribbling Chit Chat episode 1. There was plenty of dribble and plenty of chit chat, as there is just then with my pronunciation. LJ Figueroa. Wow, he had a great couple of games there in Summer League. We were sorry we couldn't see a spot, a way to get him in. He was a sort of small forward in a big man's mindset. He went on there and he must have really done something today, because Karl Anthony Towns, the superstar centre, he poured in 18 points on 6 of 9 shooting for his Dominican Republic. Great work for him. He'd be one of the people expected to do a lot for them to carry the team. But the man who said, I'm going to step up, sure, I'm not in the NBA, but LJ Figueroa had a game-high 20 points from the man that featured in the Lakers Summer League team, LJ Figueroa. Lucas Dort, he jumped on for the Canadians. He's from Oklahoma City Thunder, and he scored 13 points. Now, here's a question. Thomas, the rose between two thorns. That's a good name for a young man, Thomas. Thomas, the rose between two thorns. What about World Cup injuries and withdrawals? Do you have any updates? Yes, we do, Thomas, the rose between two thorns. Jamal Murray is unfortunately out for the Canadian side. Still star-studded in terms of NBA talent, plenty of depth there with Joe Gilgeous, Alexander from OKC. They've got a fair bit of depth there, but you'd want to have a look at the fact that having had an injury before, coming back from the knee surgery, and then pretty much out for more than a year, coming back and winning the entire championship with Denver Nuggets. So that means all of the games in the season, all of that rehab for the year plus before, and then all the playoffs. So this man here, Jamal Murray, superstar talent. Canada's been waiting for many years to get him to play in their team. He's played for them before, but just too fatigued and too much in need of load management, which is quite understandable. So Jamal Murray will miss out for the Canadians, having won the NBA title with Denver Nuggets. Jock Landale, big question mark on Jock. That injury, look away, as we said. If you don't if you're worried about those sorts of things, look away from that slide when you're showing it to your elderly parents. That is a big ankle roll, and what will happen with Jock Landale remains to be seen. Question here from Sean at Abbey Takeaway. Sean at Abbey Takeaway, what's next on Reaves Watch for the Laker fans and Lakers everywhere FIBA Watch? Great question, Sean of Abbey Takeaway. Australia will play France. Australia's one of the teams that will get two games. They flew over to Japan straight after their game. I don't think they had a full 12 hours or anything. I wish they had a really quick turnaround. Australia versus France. Now, I don't know how Australia can be the third-ranked team by FIBA when you've got teams like Spain, France, Canada. There's a lot. It's Brazil who has already beaten Australia. There's a lot to be worried about, as we said. Hence the question, World Cup wobbles. But Australia versus France, that'll give them a chance to see if they can click something together. And Australia versus Georgia on Tuesday. The USA on the Reaves Watch, USA v Germany, where we'll see him against Lakers everywhere, Dennis Schroeder, and who could forget Mo Wagner. That'll be one for Lakers fans who like to just keep an eye on former Lakers as well. The Larry Lakers Dribbling Chit Chat. Please subscribe. This time we've got a question. We're running out of time, so we're going to put our last question to you, the listeners and viewers. Please look at the podcast. Please look at the YouTube. Go to both. Give them both a like. Give them a click. Thank you very much. But this time, let's get you typing away on the comments section down below here, please, on the YouTube. Let's share some conversation that way. Cam.ron at 3 names. What a great name. Cam.ron at 3 names. Here's his question. Is praise for the from USA teammates about what makes Austin Reaves good is this. This is a quote from during the week. Austin Reaves knows how to get to the foul line. Now, great to get a little bit of support for our Austin from international world-class all-stars on the US team. But is that a bit of a backhanded compliment? Could they have said something else about his defence or some other aspect of his game, how he fits in with everybody, how he is a great passer off the dribble, how he works so hard to get around screens, he's constantly moving, anything. But the great compliment seems to be that he can get to the line. Is that backhanded praise from the teammates on Team USA? Please give your comments about that down below. We look forward to it next week. Cam.ron at 3 names. We haven't had a chance to answer your question, but we look forward to seeing the comments from others, and we'll look at your question next episode. Until next episode, thank you very much from the Larry Lakers. Please subscribe, like, listen on the podcast. Give us a 5-star review if you get the chance on the YouTubes. On all of the providers. Thank you once again. I'm Tony. You've been listening to the Larry Lakers.